Hello, nice to have you back on my channel. And if you're new here, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl here, Olayinka Fanbegbe. On this channel, as you know, we talk about relationships, we talk about lifestyle, we talk about my journey as a student social worker. I am still studying. I'm in my second year, and I do a bit of vlogging as well, and yeah, so that's me. And just to remind you to hit that subscribe button, that subscribe button just right there. And you can like, you can share, and if there's anything that you feel that I need to improve on, please don't hesitate to put it on in the comment section below. And yeah, so enough of all of that. Let's get into today's topic. Today's topic, I want to talk about my first year, what we did in my first year, how I got into this program. And yeah, so that's it. So social work is very popular here in the UK. It's just like every other profession. And just like wanting to be a nurse, wanting to be a doctor, wanting to be an engineer. And you have to, for you to be a qualified social worker, for you to be able to practice, you have to register with Social Work England, and that's our professional body. But before you can do that, yes, you need to study. You need to be knowledgeable. You need to be a professional. So all of this, some people do their programs for 3 years, which is the BSc, and some people, like myself, will do it on a 2 year program, which is the master's degree. Um, if you've done your BSc, you do not need to do the master's. It's the same. It's just that my background was not social work. My background was health and social care. I had my first degree in health and social care. So it was later on that I decided, okay, yeah, I wanted to be a social worker, and that's why I have, decided to come on this program. So I applied to the University of Bolton because I had my first degree there, because I like University of Bolton, and they're very supportive, especially for mature students like me. And the lecturers are just, they are so great. They're very understanding, and they're very they take their time to understand everybody's situation, and they work with you according to your needs. Right, so enough said about that. So I applied for my master's for social work at the University of Bolton. So I got called for interview, and it was over the phone because this was during COVID, so we couldn't do face to face. So I did an online assessment over the phone first, and then I did. It was like an exam. Yes, I remember that we had to do. Was it an exam or a test? It was like an hour. So I was given a case study to say how I was going to deal with it. Being a social worker. Anyway, I passed that, and then I got my admission letter to start in September. And it was online as well because we couldn't go in person because this was during COVID period. This was 2020 that I started. So yeah, and the first week I think we did what's it called, a life map journey. It was where we had like a reflection of where we were coming from, just to say why are we on this program, just to reflect, and on why we wanted to do the program, and what we intend to gain out of the program, you know when we finish. So the admission process, like I said, was pretty easy for me. I think it was around, we in my class we were around 20 or 21 thereabouts. We had some international students. I think it was, there were like 3 or 4 of them. So I mean, everybody got on really well. But then we have one day to attend uni, one day a week. I think it was on a Thursday that we had to attend uni for that year. we were supposed to be attending uni 1 day a week, but because of COVID, we weren't able to do that. But later on, as the thing eased down, we started going to uni 1 day a week, and it was so good because um, there's nothing like meeting face to face for me. I don't know about any other person, but I prefer to study in class. I think I get more you know when I talk to real life people. If you get me. Anyway, so like I said, this is a 2 years program, and then so in my first year, we did the children and family model, we did the law model, we had skills day, and then the placement. So in the children and family model, we discussed about different things, especially around what's it called, um, serious case reviews, where things happened in the past, like the baby P, Victoria Clean cases, things that has happened in the past that we had to learn from. See if there's any lessons that has been learned from that, or is it still happening. So we were to choose which one from, I think we had like around eight, but I thought I chose the Melissa one, and that's where I wrote around 4,000 words on, and I passed that model, which I'm happy about. So and on the law model, is about understanding the law, because as a social worker you need to understand the law. You don't have to be a lawyer, so don't be scared. But yeah, you need to be knowledgeable about legislations. And on the skills day, we had people come in, like we had carers, people who care for people, come into the uni to tell us to share their experiences with us. And then we had placements. My first placement was, for placement, you would be given a placement form where you would express your interest, where you would like to have your placement done, maybe adoption, maybe fostering, homelessness, mental health, children, adults, drugs and alcohol, whatever area suits you, you would take. So for me, I chose mental health, and what else did I? Mental health adult. So that's what I chose. So eventually, when it was time for me to go for my placement, so the university are the ones that helps you look for the placement. So they got one for me, and it was local. So for the placement, it's either you go to voluntary agencies, statutory or non-statutory. So mine was like a non-statutory, and so it was like an agency. It was like an agency, and they get all the referrals, and it's to do with mental health, supporting people with mental health in the community. So they this agency gets the referral directly from the council where I am based. So they now give out the work to this agency. So as like they give out the contracts to them to support these people. So I went in there to do my placement, even though I'm in my first year, as a social worker student. I mean, what am I saying? As first year students, I was doing more of support work in my placement, if you get what I mean. So if you're going into placements, you should, have. Why I said this is because when you're going into placement, you should have an open mind, and not going into placement, riding a high horse, if you know what I mean, because it could be anywhere, and all of these experiences are transferable. You would definitely need them. So what I did was go into placements, and I had my hours that was allocated to me. I had a number of clients that I'm supposed to go into every day, and most times I support them with shopping. Some had mobility issues; they are unable to go out themselves, and some I had to follow them to appointments. Maybe at the doctor. Some I had to follow them to court meetings. Some I had to go with them. Maybe they had contact with their children, and stuff like that. And some I needed to help them pay their bills, you know, things like that. And then I'll be back in the office doing some office work, getting phone calls, getting more referrals from the council. So it was, and then going to the uni at the same time, because you go to the uni 1 day a week, and you still have your uni work to do. So it's non-stop, and this is where you need to learn how to plan your time, because planning is very 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 very, you need to keep a diary of what you need to do, like tick a lot of boxes, because if not, you will be overwhelmed, and you will not be able to complete your task, and it's very very important. And so during first year, you would be taught about office skills, and how you're going to be sending emails, things like that. They will teach you in your first year. You're going to be taught about active listening, how you're going to you won't be interrupting people, because active listening in social work is very very critical. You need to learn how to listen to people, because it's not about you. You are there to support people, so you need to learn how to listen to people and let them express themselves in their own way, no matter what. Maybe they're into different forms of addiction or have some disabilities. You need to learn how to listen actively to people. And we had some role plays in my first year as well, and where we had service users, and you come in, they want to see how you're going to be, how professional you are, going in, introducing yourself, asking if you could sit down, and asking how you could support people, letting them be in control of their own situation, not you going in a biased manner, or being judgmental, or and sometimes you go in to do something, and then you get in there, something else happens. How to prioritize, and you do different home visits. And then in the first year again, we learned so much about people hearing voices, how people hear voices, from patients' perspectives. um you have a deeper understanding of what is going on, with people when they tell you they're hearing voices. What actually are they hearing? So you would know how to support them. And then you'll be taught in your first year about being empathetic, and showing empathy to people, and just not to think, oh, it's normal, or it's no big deal, or when somebody is talking to you, when how to communicate, how to let people know that, oh, I can, I understand. Maybe you don't fully understand, but at least you show that you want to know how to support them to be out of of that situation that they're in, because what happened to them might not have happened to you. So you might not fully understand what they are going through, but you can support them, because you are able to listen, and from your own professional experiences, and maybe from theories, and models, you can support them. And the first year, they teach you the importance of supervision, where you would have maybe your manager, or your practice educator, or your even lecturer in school, where you would have supervision. You would be able to, because there's so much to do. There's the when you go into placement, you're going to do direct observation. You're going to be directly observed by your practice educator. You're going to do critical analysis of practice, which is like a deeper reflection again. And then you're going to have your placement essay, and so there's just a whole lot. And then you have your task, you have your family. Some people work, even though my university advised us not to work because they know the amount of work we have to do. That's why they've advised that not to work, like take on extra work, like paid work during this program. So you have that to do, and then you'll be taught about professional boundaries, and why it is important to know how to talk to people using motivational interview techniques, and again you will be taught about how to have emotional resilience, not to carry your work to your home, or because a lot of social workers, because of the workload, a lot of people get like overwhelmed. The workload is too much, it's not ending, the cases are just there, and some cases are just so complex. You have to liaise with different agencies, and you're trying to help, but then you get burnt out as well. So they teach you how to do different things to help your mental health, to help your own family life, maybe by sleeping well, exercising, mindfulness, stuff like that. And then in the first year again, you would have what's it called, multi-agency meeting. This could be with other students, like the one we had with like the year one district nurses. We had with other students from other other profession, and we had like a multi-agency, like integrated meeting. And it was okay, because when you become qualified, even before you become qualified, you would have to organize meetings, maybe with housing, with the police, with the mental health team, with fire services. Different reasons would come up that you would need to organize meetings, to bring people together under, Section 42, or, something like that. So, yeah. So I think that will be it for today. I hope I've not overloaded you with too many things. So that's about it for my first year, and my placement was very good. I passed my placement. So I had a very, very good recommendation. So going into placement, be open-minded. Go in as a student, ask a lot of questions. Don't be shy, because that's why they are there. They have more experience than you. And, if there's anything that is worrying you, that you feel concerned about, or anything that you think that is not right, you should challenge it. I don't mean challenge everything, obviously. Well, challenge what you feel is not right, but, something that makes sense, if you get what I mean. So, well, everything that needs challenging needs to be challenged. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you're critiquing the right thing. And I just wanted to say again to always ask questions. Whatever that you don't understand, ask, and be very, very curious, because that's why you're a student. That's how to learn. And feedback is very, very important as well. Don't be angry when you get positive or negative feedback, because that's going to help you in your future practices. And I think I'm gonna stop now. So thank you so much for stopping by, and see you on the other side in my next video. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Bye bye.